يا صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
آمين.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
أمحبة الريح من تلقاه كاظمتي وأومد البرق في ظلماء من إدمي.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
فمن لعينيك إن قلت قف فأمتا ومن لقلبك إن قلت استفك يهمي.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
أيحسب صب أن الحب منكتم ما بين منزجم منهم ومضطرم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
لولا الهوى لم ترق دمعا على طلل ولا أرقت لذكر البان
والعلم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
فكيف تنكر حبا بعدما شهدت به عليك هدول الدمع والسقم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
وأثبت الوجد خطه عبرة ودنا مثل البهار على خدئك ولعنم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
نعم سرى طيف عن أهوى فأرقني والحب يعترض لذات بالألم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
يا لائمي في الأول عذري معسرة مني إليك ولو أنصفت لم تلمي.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
أدتك حالي لا سر بمستتر عن الوشاة ولا دائم بمنأسم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
مهدتني نسأ لكن لست أسمعه إن المهيب عن العذال في صمم.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
إني اتهمت نسيح الشيب في أزلي وشيب أبعد فيه نصع عن التهم
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
فإن أمرتي بسوء ما تعظت من جعلها بنزير الشيب والهرم
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
ولا أعدت من الفعل الجميع ضيف ألم برأسي غير منتشم
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم سيدنا محمد رسول الله عليه السلام الله أرجوك ربي أنت عالم بالذي أستره فاكفر ذنبي مكفرا أريتك بالشهر المعظم قدره أتانا جليل القدر شهرا مبجلا أريتك ربي بالذي هو نازل أمنا بالرحمن في الشهر غاديا أريتك بالعشر الأواخر والضحى أريتك بالبيت العتيق الذي صفى أريتك بالليل لا يؤقت مثله وفيه جميع الأمر صار مقدرا أريتك لما حب الآلة وحسبه صار لنا دين حنيفا مقدسا أتيت بطاعة أسوتي ووسيلتي عليه سلام الله ما زال نازلا أتيت بمن في الغار ثاني حبيبنا حبيبك الصديق كان مصدقا أتيتك بالفاروق ذاك أميرنا فذا عمر قد كان للدين حاميا أتيت بذي نورين عثمان رشدنا لقد بذل الأموال للأقصافيا بالأب العلم وهو إمامنا فذاك عالم كان للدين ساميا أتيت بسر سر حضرة ربنا فالشيخ التجاني لا له قط مشبها إمام جميع الأولياء وبابهم إلى حضرة الرحمن ختما مكتما أتيت بك أولى أخي وسيس لساني كذا ست قد عاش للدين ناشرا أتيت بشيخي ذا مربي العابد وكل باستر كف منفقا أتيت ببعض العلم وهو ضميره فعلمنا لا ينسى دنيا ولا دنا أتيت بكنز العرف سر مطلسم ومعلومتها والفنون مجمعة أتيت بما يسيس شيخي ومرشدي فذاك لسان الفيضة لا يماريا كذا بإمام الفيضة وعميدها فذل أوما رحمن فلا مفضلا أتيت بآسوك برامنا الذي يدافعني عن كل جال مدافع لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله جعلتم باب القبول لدعوتي فتفتح إلهي الباب ما دمت قارعا إلهي ترى قلبي وتعلم نيتي فكل معينا كنت للجند ناصرا لقد جمعوا الأعداء لذم قد رموا سوم أذن هوي فكن لي هاجبا كذا جمعوا للعقد والإزب والرقى فأنزل الأعداء جندا مجندا وسلت إلهي الكلب فقرا على العدا ويسلهم لخسران ترى معمما وما نقل مني ولست وصيتهم وانا اخذت المصطفى لي منهجا وحزبي من جميع شرورهم وقد لجند المبقدنا مهلكا فوالله ما ارجو ولم اكن راغبا سوى ان يكون الدين لله عاليا واولاد قومي قد جفوا ناجى دينهم واقصوا سبيل الغرب لله ثانيا فيا ليتني من ذا الذي سيقودهم الى الرشد والعرفان سرعا مدافعا لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله ألم تر أن صلب قيصر منهجا وأما قلوب الناس دينا مقبلا فمن ذا الذي يبنى لدينه وهاء وكان يكون الناس للدين ظاهرا وإن لم تجبني ترسل الآن سرعة يقول شيطا للنار مخلدا مدارت يدي لله جل جلاله مجيب لدعوات ولم يكن ناسيا أغثني أخذني منك رحمن رحمة ولا تقبل أن كنت لنعمة مرشدا على روضة الجنة أول أمورنا وأرسل إلي الآن شركا ومغربا يا إلهي كل طالب روضتي رجالا نساء منك أونا مقوما وأنزل علينا رزق والعلم والتقى وأنزل الأموال يسرا ميسرا تعوذت بالرحمن من كل حاسد وإن كان جعلنا الله ما زال حافظا لا إله إلا الله 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 وما رمنا شرنا الأرض فما رام الإطفال المغفلة وما رام دركي بالشرور ومثلها وما رام أحسن بعد إصلاح عالية وما رام ضري بالذي وصانعه وما رام رجع الأمس إذ كان ماضيا الذي يدعو لك وذلتي قلب الذي يلاك وما زال مكفلا العرب في الخدي صرت ممجدا وفاق يكون الخصم لمتزللا بحب رسول الله صرت محصنا وما رام ضري رام امرأ مزيفا لا إله إلا الله 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 وإن تسألوني ما لنا من وقايتي أقول حبيب الله من غير ما وما بالشيخ تجاني قد شددت وقايتي وبالكون أخي ما زلت يوما مشيدا وبشرى لمن قام الأمر مؤيدا لقد فاز بالخيرات حظا مناسبا إذا انتهى قلبي وتعلم مقصدي وكل معينا كل عاد محاربا وذكر إلهي كل إنس وجنة يساعدني في نيل أمر مساهما يفوض أمري للذي هو خالقي وآمنت أني لن أرد مخيبا وسلم دائما متلازما على المصطفى والآلي ما دمت مالكا لا إله إلا الله 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 الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله ثم سلامه لها من فؤادي حبه لولا وتأكمي لداد الإمام العاشمي مفاخم هدى بي يا هادي العاشقين بذكره وإذا تعرف كم بالمريب المتيم محمد محمود مختار حبيب المقدم محمد طاعة مصطفى بشير نذير ومن أي غميد آني أعمي سرعتي وإنني بذنبي مأكول فمن لي بسلمي رسول أمين وهو أهدي ورحمة أبو القاسم المنصور ترسي وأنصرهم سرى المصطفى ليلا ووافى بخمسة ورجنا بها والفضل للقدم وأوصى بها عند الخروج مواكدا وفي آيانا للعبد كل تقدم له وبيئكم وار كأن سجاد الوجود مراتلا وتسجد من بعد ركوع المعظم لقد التوبية عنك المساء وتجهة وصلت إلى المحبوب كبر وعزمي لربي إله العرش شكر مؤيد على المصطفى المختار سر المكتم أسائله تحقيقا وكنت راجيا لديني ودنياه بطاع المفخم أدايا رسول الله يا رسول الله أدايا كثير صلاة مسلما على ذلك الكنز لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله مقبلا بقى لا إله إلا الله مشرير لا إله إلا الله مقبلا لا إله إلا الله مقبلا بقى لا إله إلا الله مشرير لا إله إلا الله أحد لا لا إله إلا الله صمد الله لا إله إلا الله قهار الله لا إله إلا الله مقبلا لا إله إلا الله مقبلا لا إله إلا الله مشرير nínú olóríire o nínú olóríire nínú olóríire o nínú olóríire o nọ́mbà kọ́kọ́ lórúkọ mi wà nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nọ́mbà kọ́kọ́ lórúkọ mi wà nínú olóríire nínú olóríire o nínú olóríire nínú olóore pẹtẹ o lálàáfíà jaburata nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ lórúkọ mi wà nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nínú olóríire nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ lórúkọ mi wà nínú olóríire àtẹ̀yìn àtọmọ nọ́mbà àkọ́kọ́ lórúkọ mi wà nínú olóríire subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah subhanallah walhamdulillah ní ìfọ́lùwà wa ọlọ́run foríjì wa mímọ́ fọba tó láyé ọpẹ́ ní ìfọ́lùwà wa ọlọ́run foríjì wa kò sẹ́nìkan àfiwọ́ ìwọ ló tóbi jùlọ. Subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Mímọ́ ìnífọ́ bá tó ní wá ògo ní ìfọ́lùwà wa ọlọ́run foríjì wa mímọ́ fọba tó láyé ọpẹ́ ní ìfọ́lùwà wa ọlọ́run foríjì wa kò sẹ́nìkan àfiwọ́ ìwọ ló tóbi jùlọ. Subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. La ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. La ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Subhanaka rabbi subhanak subhanaka ma a'azama shanak. Alhamdulillah 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 رب السماوات والأرض جاعل عسر بين يسرين إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. وصل وسلم في مبدأ كل أمر ومنتهى على رسول الذي أرسل برسالة اليسر حتى قال الدين يسر. وقال أيضا صلى الله عليه وسلم تيسروا فلا تعسروا فإن الدين يسر. الحمد لله أن جعل لنا منهجا يسيرا الذي من يسلكه وصل إلى اليسر. ورضوان الله سبحانه وتعالى على الميسرين للناس بعلومهم ومعرفتهم وفنونهم عاشوا ينتصرون اليسر بين كل أسرة على قيادتهم مولانا شيخ أحمد التجاني رضي الله تعالى عنه. ورضي الله على من رفع بعده لواء اليسر وسافر زائر غرب الدنيا وشرقها يبلغ كل من لقيه رسالة اليسر. هذا فهو أبو يسر، هذا مولانا شيخ إبراهيم يس. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وازده فائدة وكرامة ورحمة وغفرانة يا رب العالمين. ورضي الله عن خلفائه على قيادة مولانا شيخ السيسي. ورضي الله عن أبناء الشيخ، ورضي الله عن بناته، ورضي الله عن أبي وجدي مولانا شاب عبد الرحمن وشاب عبد الله لبيدون رضي الله تعالى عنه.
ورضي الله عن عجوبة الزمان مولانا شيخ كمال الأدبي
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
رضي الله على من مهد لكل طالب العلم طريقا يسيرا للحصول على العلم، فذلك هو ضمير العلم ومعناه مولانا شيخ آدم عبد الله الإيلوري
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
ورضي الله عن سر الله المتلسم مولانا شيخ محمد الأول
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
اللهم اغفر لكل واحد منهم
آمين.
ورضي الله سبحانه وتعالى على سبت الشيخ عن سبت الشيخ مولانا شيخ حسن السيسي،
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
وكذلك ندعو لجميع أولياء الله الذين قد ألحقهم الموت زمرة ربهم وهم عنده يرزقون.
آمين.
وندعو لمشايخنا الذين لا نزال نترعرع تحت عيونهم ونتمتع بوجودهم بيننا، من مولانا الناطق باسم الفيضة مولانا شيخ محمد السيسي،
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
وكذلك ندعو الله سبحانه وتعالى ليعطي خليفة الشيخ طول العمر ووسعة الرزق والعافية
آمين.
مولانا الشيخ محمد ميس،
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
وندعو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يطول لنا عمر أبينا مولانا الشيخ محمد ربيع عدبايو،
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
ونجعل خليفة الشيخ في حماية الله التي لا تخرق مولانا شيخ حبيب الله آدم عبد الله الإيلوري. اللهم أسلب بشديد محالك من يريد سلبه،
آمين.
وأغلب بعظيم سلطانك من يريد غلبه،
آمين.
ودمدم على ركن من يحاول ذله،
آمين.
ومزق بقوي بطشك من يطلب فله،
آمين.
فلا تقله إلى نفسه طرفة عين لا في قله ولا في جله، يا الله يا رب العالمين.
آمين.
آمين.
ولا ننسى أيضا أن ندعو لمولانا شيخ إبراهيم السنكري،
رضي الله تعالى عنه.
اللهم وسع له الأرزاق
آمين.
وكمل له العافية
آمين.
وارفع له درجة،
آمين.
يا الله يا رب العالمين.
آمين.
قولوا آمين.
آمين.
مهما طال الزمان وضاقت الدنيا والبلاء، لابد يوما أن يأتي الفرج. إنما الحول سمي حولا لكونه يدور، ليس بشيء مستمر حتى يكون العبد في حال واحد، بل لكل من له بداية لابد أن تكون له نهاية. وكذلك الأمر الإنسان، إذا سرعه زمان من الممكن أن يأتي زمان آخر بالحزن، وإن كان متوكلا على الله مؤكنا بإجابته فلا يعلم أن الله سبحانه وتعالى سوف يأتي بشيء من اليسر. فالرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم رغم أنه مصدق، رغم أنه رسول من عند ربه أتاه ما أتاه من العسر، فحول الله سبحانه وتعالى عسره إلى اليسر، فجعل الله سبحانه وتعالى عسرا بين اليسرين. والآن قد قام ضيف والأبواب وقلوب الإنسان وإن شئت أي قلوب الإنسان ولو سمحتم لضيفكم الدخول أو بالدخول سيدخل وسيأتي بهذه الرسالة رسالة تحتوي على اليسر والعسر كأن رسالة رمضان تأتي لتعلمنا أن الزمان لا يقف على شخص بل إنما هو يحول لأن الزمان والحول من سنة الله ولا تجد لسنة الله تحويلا ولا تبديلا فهذه السنة لا تتحير إنما هي أن الله سبحانه وتعالى لن يديم عبدا في زمن عسر في أبديته بل إنما يأتي به زمن أو يأتي به زمنا يسره ويأتي به أحوال تحسنه فرمضان إذا بدأنا باليسر وقد يكون عسرا على البعض أن يقفوا في نصف الليل ويأتون أو يأتوا بشيء من النوافل هذا صعب على البعض وعلى البعض سهل بل نأتي من ذلك إلى أن نأكل هذه إشارة اليسر ونتوقف من الشرب والأكل إلى مدة ما فهذه المدة قد تأثر على البعض وسيأتي بعد ذلك ماذا؟ اليسر عند الإفطار ولذا قيل إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا ففكر في ألم نشرح فعسر بين يسرين متى تذكر ما تفرح نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكثر في حياتنا اليسر وأن يذهب بالعسر يا الله يا رب العالمين. We thank Allah Azza wa Jal whose tradition never changed. The fact that we stay away from the Quran is the biggest of our problems. And the Quran, more than anything else, is not just a spiritual book. To many, the only thing we find in the Quran is things that scare you. That is because you only see it as a spiritual book. The Quran, it's a manual that Allah has prepared to guide the life of mankind. It gets you familiarized with the nature of the world that we live in. It informs you about the tradition of Allah Azza wa Jalla, which in reality was not different for those that came before us. It is not going to be different for those that are going to come back after us. Allah's tradition never changed. The only constant thing is what? Change. And that change is tradition of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And it's almost confusing when you hear that the only constant thing is change. Change is the only thing that does not do what? That does not change. It's almost an oxymoron. Allah has never, not the time before us, not now or never, will He bring about a time when humans will just be in total comfort and there will be no discomfort. The only key that opens the door of comfort is discomfort. Whoever is not ready to bear the momentary comfort, or discomfort rather, will not enjoy the everlasting comfort. We all go to school. You're not going to go on to the next class unless you go through the discomfort of studying and passing an exam. It's impossible. When you want to have a child, the discomfort of begging Allah to grant you the best of them. When a woman becomes pregnant, that does not stop her from going through the discomfort of being pregnant. Because she's not going to achieve that comfort without going through that discomfort. We are sitting in a building right now. It was not just brought here and it was like this. No, they have to dig the floor. They have to mount some pillars. Some people probably in the process sustain some wounds, but they get paid after all. Standing in front of our doors right now is a visitor, which exemplifies the tradition of Allah Azza wa Jalla, that comfort is not forever, neither is discomfort. Now when you know this, whether it's comfort or discomfort, you're going to treat them the same way. Ramadan brings about the message of the nature of the world that we live in. It is coming, we're all happy. Some of us. Some are scared. But even though at that they're still going to fast, they have to go through that discomfort because they know that if they did not fast, they're not going to gain Jannah. So they want that comfort, so they have to go through that discomfort. But for those of us that are prepared for it, we know that discomfort is not forever. And as a matter of fact, we do not accept that discomfort as discomfort. Rather, we treat it as if it's what? Comfort. The same thing when you study for exam and you know it is to get you to your goal. You don't see that as discomfort. As a matter of fact, you love to dig in those books so you can bring about new things. Going through stress is not discomfort, it's comfort. When you have a fever, it's not discomfort. That is your body fighting a discomfort. Without your body fighting that discomfort, well, you cannot be in comfort all your life just eating sugar and everything is just so sweet. As a matter of fact, I do not care how sweet the sugar is. At a point where you're going to feel as if it's what? A discomfort. And our kids do not know that right now. They know that lollipop, and after lollipop is this long, disgusting one. You know, they take that one and put in their nose, in their mouth like this. Let them get to their 30s and 35, and when 40 start knocking at their door, they will literally diagnose themselves before someone diagnoses them. Be like, this sugar, man, I don't feel it no more. See, this is how you know that you're getting old. When you start to use honey instead of sugar for your coffee. And you enjoy to wake up in the morning and drink warm water with lime, with no sugar. Well, of course, you used to be the one that would go to sleep with soda and wake up with soda. هذه الدنيا هذه أحوالها. Ramadan, when we wake up in the nights, for some people it's discomfort. For some of us that we know that we want to go and meet with Allah Azza wa Jalla, what can be more comfortable than that? We're prepared, we're longing towards meeting Him. And we have to go through that period of discomfort, the day where you cannot eat or drink. And as soon as the sun is about to set, you feel that relief again. هذه الدنيا. Our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah promised him. As a matter of fact, when he was running away from the enemies and going to Medina, and they ended up in that cave, it was Abu Bakr. When Abu Bakr started to feel that discomfort, it says, لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Everyone say, لا تحزن. He says, do not feel no discomfort. إن الله معنا. Allah is with us. Allah says, because of that conviction, فأنزل سكينته عليه وأيده بروحه.
وأيده بروح القدس.
فأنزل عليه سكينة. إذ قال لصاحبه لا تحزن إذ هما في الغار لا تحزن إن الله معنا فأنزل سكينته عليه وأيده بروح لم تروها بكنيك باميو مبادوا قارئ واني وكلمة الله هي العليا إذ هما في الغار إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا فأنزل سكينته عليه. They were going to Medina and they got to the point where Abu Bakr was going to give up. And he says, this is getting too difficult. And he says, do not say that. Difficulty is part of what we have to go through to arrive at our comfort. Inna Allah ma'ana. Allah is with us. If Allah is with you, you're not going to feel no discomfort. It's part of the plan. You want to travel. The plane is not going to come into your building and into your room and pick you up. You have to go to the airport. And even if it's parked at the back of your house, you still have to go there. It's not going to drag you out of your bed. To enjoy every form of comfort, you've got to go through discomfort. Now, when you see the discomfort as part of the plan, you're not going to feel it.
لا تحزن.
La tahzan. Feel no discomfort. He was telling Abu Bakr, you as a leader, as a father, as a mother, as a teacher, people around you will feel that discomfort. There will be a time when everyone just want to give up. Nobody gives up and get there. It's impossible. You think it's easy for the presidents? Because they ride in Air Force One? Oh, indeed. Biden is almost 80 years old. At his age, doctor recommends that I should be sleeping until how many hours? 8 hours. Dude does not sleep 4 hours.
إن الله معنا.
Oh, yes, I also.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا تحزن.
لا تحزن. ما worry.
إن الله معنا.
إن الله معنا. Allah is with us.
فأنزل الله سكينته عليه.
Listen. There are 9 foul. Everybody say foul. There are 9 various kinds of foul in Arabic grammar. And each and every one is indicative of the consequential arrangements of the ayats. The foul will be indicative of what precedes that foul. Are you listening? There is foul al-atifa, there is foul al-aqiba, there is foul al-sababiyya. And it says, فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ. And because of his conviction, because of his lack of despair, فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ, because it confirms that Allah is with him, and فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ, and for that reason, the Allah revealed, and Allah descended rather, فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ. Listen to the Quran very well.
إلا تنظروا فقد نصره. إلا تنظروا فقد نصره الله إذ أخرجه الله كفروا.
إذا أخرجه الذين كفروا يجور ذاك قرآن لنكا. In al-Kilowiyah Fayi.
إلا تنظروا.
Even if you do not help, listen. It was going through a period of discomfort. And he looked around him. There are several people, but very limited helpers. And when you want to start something that you have a lot of people around you, it cheers you on. And of course you want to keep going. But you're not sure whether they're going to come around when it's time of discomfort and difficulty. Muhammad was born of a noble family. A family that was so protective of its own. Ordinarily, if Allah had not raised him a prophet, no evil could have befallen him. They were that noble. Not only were they noble, he married into a very noble family. His wife was, Allah preserved that woman for him. And that's a story for another day. At the time when the Arabs were burying their female children, Allah safeguarded and spared Khadija for the sake of Muhammad. It was of Quraysh. It was of Hashimi. Ordinarily, people should gather around him and help him. But the day he chose to be different, those who he thought would be of help to him became his most fierce enemies. And Allah was saying unto them,
إلا تنصروه
even if you did not help him, my brother,
فقد
help is what? Is comfort. Even if you did not provide the comfort that he needs,
فقد نصره الله
Allah himself has helped him. Allah is his comfort.
إذ أخرجه الذين كفروا.
Allah, see Allah when he talks to us, and that is why some people say they want to finish Quran in Ramadan. Yeah, tilawatan aw tadabburan. Tadabburan afdal min tilawatik. And take it in the ayatin, wa tadabbar fi ma'aniha. To stay with one ayah and reason into what Allah is actually saying about it. It's actually better for you to finish the whole Quran in Ramadan. Oh, but don't put that behind here. Oh, you're long. You know, when we were in high school, we had this Quran that's split into about 30, and we always have about 2 in our pockets because we want to show off. They'd be like, how many have you finished? Say 4. I'm going to finish 6 tonight.
إذ أخرجه
كيف عند كل آية وتدبر في معانيها. He says, even if you do not provide the comfort that he requires, Allah himself has provided that comfort. And he says, let me tell you how he did it. إذ أخرجه الذين كفروا. When those who disbelieve in his message drove him away from his home, أخرجوه ثاني اثنين أخرجوه ثاني اثنين. When a man of noble family was reduced to a troop of 2 armies, when Allah drove him out only in pair, 1 pair. This was a man from a noble family. Ordinarily, if he were to be going to Medina, several thousands of people should follow him. لكن أخرجوه ثاني اثنين. They drove him out, 1 of the pair. He was only in the army of 2. But sometimes you know who's going to stay with you. Others who are still doubting whether they're going to go with you or not. And he says, when you see the man that you trust very well, just go with him. Thirtieth name. They were driven out in a pair of 2. And they got to a point in the journey, they ended up in a home. It takes 1 person to move the goal forward. 2 partners who are going through financial difficulties, both of you cannot give up at the same time. One has to be the stronger one. And most of the time, you should be the one with the dream. Allah wants to take us through what happened. It's not denying the position of Abu Bakr as a partaker, but it's telling us what his role was. Thaniya Ismaili. It was just a soldier in that battalion of 2. The general himself, when they both ended up in the ditch, in the hole. When he was telling his partner, how many of them were in the ditch?
2.
How many people is Allah referring to here? Down.
1.
Listen, for someone to have left the house with him, you would think, this man, no problem. He saw what the Prophet ﷺ saw. No, your partner will not see what you see. He believed in you. When you shake, he's going to shake. The fact that he believes in you does not mean he's not going to doubt you at one point. When discomfort gets to a point and looks at the account and everything is almost red, you have to be the strong one and say, you have to be the stronger one and say, la tahzan. Is yaqulu li sahibihi, when he was telling his sahib, his partner, you call him his partner.
لا
My God. لصاحبه, his partner, his co-pilots. صاحبه, not لشريكه. لو قال إذ قال لشريكه لكان أبو بكر نبيا كمثل محمد
صلى الله عليه
بل
وسلم.
إنما المرسل هو الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. أبو بكر يعني قام مقام المؤيد فقط، قام مقام المعين فقط. إنه هو صاحب رسول، ليس هو مرسلا ولا مبعوثا لا نبيا. في حقه أن يتغلغل قلبه، وفي حقك أنت رسول أن يثبت قلبك. Abu Bakr, Allah did not say when he told his partner. He says when he told his companion, not his partner.
لا
My brother Zaki.
الله بنفسه.
He says, يقول لصاحبه. He was saying to his what? His companion, not his partner. If Allah had said his partner, we would have thought maybe Abu Bakr was also a prophet, but wasn't a prophet. He was just a companion. He was someone that drives with him in the car to keep him company. So when he falls asleep, he can wake him back up. That is why your friends will give up on you. That is why your partners will give up on you. Because they are not partners in reality. They are companions. It takes the owner of the message to stay strong. They do not see what you see. They only believe in you. If you fall, they will fall. And the dream will go to someone else. And you will see it on TV someday and say, and I planned about this thing. Oh. Listen, if you do not know that Allah created us in pairs, stay up one day and start trying to, back in the days, we used to want to register domains at night. Almost at the beginning of, the .com boom, I used to register like a lot of domains. It was the day I registered Goozers.com when I couldn't find anything else. I was going to compete with Google. I registered Goozers.com. And listen, it was so funny that as soon as you put in a name, it's going to say the name is taken. They'll be like, how many of us are here? Who's in my head? Not even recent, it was only until recent that Google decided to take all the alphabets in the dictionary. But this was way even before then. As soon as you enter a name, it would say the name is taken. You'll be wondering, who? Allah is telling you, the message has to continue. If you don't deliver the message, someone else will. If you are the driver of the bus, everyone else is just a co-passenger. They don't see what you see. Allah has not erased them. He erased you. There'll be times of discomfort. You want to take your children to Jannah with you? عليهم ولدان مخلدون بأكواب وأباريك وكأس من معين لا يصدعون عنها ولا وفاكهة مما
يتحيرون.
He said عليهم ولدان مخلدون. Allah referred to the children here as companions. You want your children to fast with you? They're going to feel discomfort. You have to tell them it's okay, don't worry. I'll give you big chicken. You're not going to tell them, hey, you don't want to go to Jannah? He doesn't want to go. What evil has he done that he has to think about Jannah? You're the one that does evil all the time. See, if you don't fast, Allah will not give you Jannah. Say, okay, I don't want Jannah. But you have to tell them, La ta'azan. They must say, La ta'azan. Sometimes some companions will come, some will go. You're the owner of the message, you have to stay, you have to remain. You have to believe so much in your goal. You based on the class that we've taught before, you have to see it so much that you know that it's starting. But you have to give up some things to get there. Therefore, each and every step you take towards that goal becomes comfort. You don't see it as discomfort. So you enjoy the journey more than you do the destination. As a matter of fact, the journey becomes so enjoyable that you don't even ever want to get to the destination. Because there's no destination when it comes to success. You get to one, you move on to another one. You get to one, you move on to another one. Within the space of 3 months, Elon Musk lost his place as the richest man in the world. He gained it back. He lost it again, and he gained it back. Are you listening? This was a man that was used to discomfort anyway. This was a man who lost all his life savings at some point, and he gained it back. So he knew it was not forever. That was the latter Hazan. Ramadan is not forever. It's only for 30 days. When he was telling his companion, not his partner, لا تحزن, do not feel no discomfort. The one who sent us on this voyage is with us. The one who sent us on this journey is with us. Allah is with us. And because of what he said, because of his conviction, Allah descended upon him his comforts. The only reason he was worthy of Allah's comfort was because he acknowledged the fact that what they're going through was temporary, and therefore converted in his mind the discomfort to what? To comfort. And Allah says, for that reason, I'm going to show you real comfort. Say, فَأَنزَلَ فَلِذَلِكَ. And for that only, because he said that, أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ سَكِينَتَهُ. Because I'm alayhi, man. Oh, Allah did not say, and he descended his comfort on both of them. When you are investing and you're losing money, you go back and your wife is like, hey, can you imagine? And our time comes and you invest again. The comfort to keep going is what Allah is saying. Allah is not saying, and as soon as He said that, they find themselves in Jannah. No, the comfort to see discomfort as comfort, Allah made discomfort easy for him so much that he feels no discomfort no more. And all the companion needs is just to see the comfort in the owner of the message. If they see that comfort in you, they're comfortable. Oh, see? Allah does not say, فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِمَا. He does not say, then he descended his comfort on both of them. He said what? Alayhi, on him. Because if he feels comfort, he will feel comfort. Oh, what do I jagun nimbo? Jagun nimbo. Olórí ogun kò gbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́yìn ogun jagun nimbo. Èmi ló ń bá wí. Pé àwọn balógun ti sí o, balógun tó ń bá lé ọtí. Gbogbo àfá balógun ni. Gbogbo bàbá ńlé balógun ni. Gbogbo ọkọ balógun ni. Managers at work, business owners, inflation is coming, it's going. Who gives a crap? It's going to come and go. I was La Tahzan. And the companions, everybody's serious at their job now. Before they would go in at 9 o'clock, they don't give it. Now they will get there at 7 a.m. If the manager does not greet them, they will greet him. Because they're scared. You have to go through the time of discomfort. La Tahzan.
وَأَيَّدَهُ بِجُنُودٍ لَمْ
تَرَوْهَا. And it says, because it said that Allah aided him with soldiers that are not visible. Invisible soldiers. The zeal to keep going. To the point that some people think, oh, is he crazy? How is he doing it? أَيَّدَهُ بِجُنُودٍ لَمْ تَرَوْهَا. You don't really Bijunudin. Listen. I would like for you to understand the Quran very well. It was talking about one person. It says, and he said unto his companion, do not feel no discomfort. And because he said that, Allah descended his comfort on him. And he aided him with invisible soldiers. And it says, Lam Tarawha, but they did not see it. They do not see what kept him going, but they just knew that he kept going. He should have given up, but he becomes stronger. He should be despaired. But his loyalty to his cause remains unflinched. Lakin lam yarawha. They do not see the soldiers. They only see you. And for as long as you remain standing, they remain standing. Have I get away?
وجعل كلمة الذين كفروا سفلا.
And because of his steadfastness, وَجَعَلَ كَلِمَةَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سُفُلًا وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا.
والله عزيز حكيم.
جَعَلَ كَلِمَةَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سُفُلًا. Because of his steadfastness, Allah made the notions of the disbelievers irrelevant. Everything they were saying about him becomes unnecessary, insignificant. Allah makes it sufla. I would say sufla. Allah makes the notion of him insignificant. They said he was going to fail, and when he succeeded, the notion of him became insignificant. They said he would die young. When Allah made him reach 90, the notion of him make it become insignificant. We would say he will not have no child. Allah blessed him with many. The notion of him becomes insignificant.
وجعل الذين كفروا كلمة الذين كفروا سفلا.
The notions, because I told you kuffar, kalimatu kufri, there are 4 various meanings for it. الذين كفروا منهم أسرته. There were families who were thinking, Muhammad said he was hearing from God. How is that possible? جعل كلمة الذين كفروا السفلى. Allah made the notions of him irrelevant.
وكلمة الله هي العليا.
The message of Allah, the notion of Allah, the plan of Allah will remain at the top. So if you want to remain at the top, you cannot stay down. Each and every time the world knocks you down, you have to do what? Get up. Because what stays down is the kalimatul ladina kafaru. You don't want to be like them. Wallahi.
Wallahu azizun hakim.
And Allah azizun hakim, Allah is honorable. Azizun huna, Allah is tough. Hakimun, he knows how to navigate the situation. عزيز هنا بمعنى قوي حكيم في كل حال تراه قويا. When you think he should fall, he stands back up. He knows how to navigate. The smart ones are looking at where is he going to fall, trying to look for the way to navigate. They do not want to stay down. If the world knocks you down and you stay down, things that are not even up to you instead will trample upon you. You become irrelevant. You expose your secrets only to that whose notion is always at the top. The reason why people don't respect you is because they know too much about you. Every single issue you go through, you tell them. And when they say, Ya Latif, Ya Latif. Allah, la ilaha illa wa la ilaha illa Allah, ko believe in me. On ka ka lo ka kana. Oh, Zindozi. إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا ففكر في ألم نشرح. إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا ففكر في ألم نشرح. فعسر بين يسرين متى تذكر ما تفرح. إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا ففكر في ألم نشرح. إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا ففكر في ألم نشرح.
ففكر في ألم نشرح.
فعسر بين يسرين.
فعسر بين مسرين
فعسر بين يسرين
فعسر بين يسرين
متى تذكرهما تفرح
متى تذكرهما
تفرح إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا. When your time of discomfort comes, it will come. I do not care how bumpy and jumpy you are in the morning after your coffee. It's going to go down. And listen, you can't keep looking up. Otherwise, your kidney will give up. I do not care how happy you are. I do not care what. Listen, you may have so much money. Some say, well, money takes out of all. I mean, what is it? Money takes out of all is the key to happiness. Yeah, but even with money, sometimes you feel discomfort. When life comes, when life throws you lemon, think about how to make lemonade out of it. Think when time comes, when it brings us discomfort, think about the word of Allah that He said to Muhammad. Alam nashrah. Some people say it's istifham. La la, innama huwa tawkid wa ta'kid. إنما هو تأكيد يعني تحقيق وتثبيت أن الله شرح له صدره. Allah says, really? ألم نشرح لك صدرك? What makes you think we're going to leave you now? What makes you think we're going to forsake you now? Are we now the one, when you knew nothing, that we took away all evil from your hearts? Is it not Allah who brought you out of that family and granted you American visa? Alam nashra laka sadra fadhakkir fi alam nashra. Allah ju Arab nanu. Remember the day when you got your visa, you could not sleep. You're the happiest person in the world. The day when you get your green card, that envelope, just kept it. The next thing you looked at it, and as if it's nothing. You're traveling, you couldn't even find it. Where is this green card? This was a green card that nobody should touch yesterday. And Allah granted you your citizenship. I'm a citizen, mashallah. I'm in trouble all over the world now. What do you know? تذكر في ألم نشرح إذا ضاقت بك الدنيا. Time will come, discomfort will knock at your door. Think about Alam Nashra. It wasn't Allah who brought you joy yesterday. It wasn't Allah who lifted you up, raised you, the very high esteem. And among your friends, you were the first to get your green card. You were the first to get a good job. The same Allah who created them created you. You know, Muslims were very arrogant, you know. We think Allah is only concerned about us. Allah is the Lord of the Jewish, you know that, right? He's the Lord of the Arikishnas. He's the same one who created them. Huh? He made whoever Muslims and whoever non-Muslim. It does not mean the fact that He makes you Muslim will just give you everything. No. You should be happy that He even made you Muslim. For you don't have to negotiate Jannah. They have to kill. You have a prophet who had said, I will intercede for you. You have a promise. You know what the prophet tells them? He says, on that day will tell them, go away from me, O ye sinners. A prophet will say, no, I will intercede for you. And we'll act as if Allah is only concerned about the Muslims. Muslims are Allah's baby. And He has given you what He wanted to give you. Islam. Faqat. يؤتي اللبيب ويؤتي كل معفوني. لو كان باللب يزداد اللبيب غنى لكان كل لبيب مثل قارون. لكان كل لبيب مثل قارون. It says, if it were by the level of your wisdom, if Allah increases you in wealth, every wise person will be as rich as Qarun. But wealth, Allah has a measure for it. Yu'ti labiba wa yu'ti kulla ma funi. Yu'ti labiba wa yu'ti kulla ma. Allah will give the wise one. Allah is giving. You know, in school, those that have A's and they don't become billionaires. Because they only think textually. The C students are the most of the billionaires of the world are C students. They usually don't pay attention in class because they're smarter than the teacher. But in the class, they were measuring their smartness by what? By the grades. So if you were the A student while you're in school, why are you mad that your friend who was a C student is now richer than you? Allah had granted you your own time to shine. In class, say clap your hand, clap for that guy. He's the smartest one. I was C student now for one year. Yeah, but I was smart. Yeah, you were smart. That was your gift. Allah is not only concerned by one person. But look at Inshallah and he come. Allah won't tell me alone, everybody. Oh, but look at Inshallah and he come. Oh, give one A, my dear. Allah won't tell me alone, everybody. Oh. It's not just for one person, it's not just for Muslim. Allah has granted you Ramadan. Now to pay your bills, you have to go to work. Do you understand? He granted Muslims the knowledge of the Quran. He granted non-Muslim the knowledge of economy and military. Don't say because you're Muslim, you're not going to buy a weapon from them. 1 million Yasin will not save you. Allah has deployed the Yasin, the Rawani of Yasin in the atomic bomb. You're not going to say because we're Muslims, we're going to defend ourselves by reading the Quran. No, He has granted you that. Go and seek something that He granted to other people. When life comes, He throws you lemon. Think about Alam Nashra that He said to Muhammad. Allah carefully planted one discomfort between two comforts. Inna ma'al usri yusra, fa inna ma'al usri yusra. You see the second usri falls between two yusr. فعسر بين يسرين متى تذكرهما تفرح متى تذكرهما تفرح. When you remember them, you're going to be happy. You know, there is, to every cloud there is a silver lining. There's never been a prophet, even though Allah mentioned them in the Quran, that Allah just made His life all about comfort. But He taught them to change their discomfort to comfort. So therefore they see every struggle as a step towards their success. They do not complain about it. If they must complain, they complain only to who? Inni ashku bathi ila man? Ila Allah. Nabiullah Yusuf. I told you about Mulana Shah Adam Abdullah Al-Yuri. We were reading his qasida that he wrote. When things were difficult. I'm going to go to Yusuf now. Kaya Yusuf Kato Karoshi Shah Adam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان
الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقال الملك إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخرى يابسات يا أيها الملأ
أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم لرؤيا تعبرون. You know, Yusuf was thrown in jail. The day when he had a dream that was before him was standing the moons and the star and the stars, and it was very happy. Remember, we talked about that before, right? His father was happy. But what happened after that time? Discomforts. He got thrown in the well. What happened after that time? He was saved. Comforts. What happened after that time? He was lied against discomforts. Extended one this time around. Thrown in jail. Even in jail, Allah brought about comfort. Because his cellmates were trying to make fun of him and ask him about the meaning of their dream. When he was able to tell them, and that thing came to pass, what do you think he felt? Comfort. Yes. Yes. And he told him, you get to the palace, do not forget me. And he was in jail for a long time. Guy was busy eating chicken. You forgot about him. Discomforts. And Allah brought discomfort to the king. Despite the loftiness of his mansion, he had a dream he could not interpret. And he talked to his chiefs. Aftuni fi ruyaya. Tell me the meaning of these dreams. Of this dream that I saw. He said, I dreamed of 7 cows, fat cows, eating the skinny ones. And I saw 7 grains of grains. And I saw others that are dry. If you know how to interpret dreams, please tell me. Imagine I have a chiefs, wise ones. And he told them, please tell me. He had that discomfort of not being able to interpret his dream. He was looking for comfort from his chiefs.
قالوا أضغاث أحلام وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين.
قالوا أضغاث أحلام وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين. قالوا أضغاث أحلام. When he told them, please help me with the meaning of this dream. قالوا أضغاث أحلام. So these are confusing dreams. Allah go. وما نحن بتاويل الأحلام بعالمين. Say, we don't know how to interpret dreams. These were the wise ones. Ordinarily, there was nothing he wanted to discuss, and he told them that they would not know the meaning. But this time around, they said, ما نحن بتاويل الأحلام بعالمين. We don't know how to interpret dreams. And this was heavy on the heart of the king. How do you think the king felt at that time? Discomfort. He thought the chiefs were happy that they could not interpret the meaning of the king's dreams. They had everything, but not, listen, they had everything, but not the meaning of mere dreams. Some things will be out of your control. You can't help it. It will bother you. It's human. The awliya of Allah, they have a calendar for problems and troubles. If things are so sweet, nothing to worry about, they get up in the middle of the night and do nawafil. They ask Allah, we hope this is not going to be the end of our lives. When comfort is too dragged for them, if it's extended, they know there's going to be a problem. They start fasting. I was only poison. Oh my God. The men of Allah Azza wa Jalla, when comfort is too prolonged, they start fasting, giving sadaqah, zakat, because they're worried. They're worried. How can we stay in one class? You have to be tested, so we'll move on to another class. Discomfort teaches you how to withstand the time of comfort, and the other way around. If you're in one place, just one place, you're not gonna grow. Your children, they have to grow their feet. It's not easy for children to go through, teething, right? It's not easy. You think you know what they were going through, you don't. Sometimes you tell them to shut up. You're crying too much. He knows what he's going through. But guess what? How is he going to eat candy if he doesn't have that? There's going to be sweetness after the headache. They will fall when they're about to walk. Man khafa as-suquta la yaqumu abada. Whoever fears to fall will never stand. I will say next step. Wallahi, to get there, you have to fall. That is why steps are made this way. Fall, rise, fall, rise, fall, rise. If step was to be made this way, can you climb it? You have to fall and rise, fall and rise, fall and rise, and you show up at the other end. But if it was just a plane, how are you going to climb it? I think you have Macedonia. And he told them, tell me the meaning of my dream.
وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة أنا
أنبئكم بتاويله فأرسلون وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة. And the one of the two prisoners, he came and said, my Lord, I think I might have an idea of how we can solve this dream issue. It says, وَادَّكَرَ بَعْدَ أُمَّةٍ. Finally, he remembered. After ummatin, after a very long time, it was almost unrecognizable. You will not believe that was the prisoner of yesterday. So fat and blossomed. Chicken, you forgot about. Remember that friend that used to go to the embassy with you? Was fasting with you. He's still in Nigeria. He's looking for money to rent the house. It's not your fault. You forgot about him. You know what you have to go through to get your green card. You forgot almost everything about everybody. But وَذَكَرَ بَعْدَ أُمَّةٍ. Listen, someday you're going to stumble on his ugly picture on Instagram. That's still him. So subhanallah, this is my
أنا أنبئكم
بتأويله فأرسلون. It says, I'm going to tell you the meaning of the dream. He said, hey, really, you know the meaning of فأرسلوني. If only you will send me to jail to go and bring Yusuf. I'm his agent. It says, أنبئكم بتأويله. بتأويله. It doesn't say بتأويلها. لو قال أنبئكم بتأويلها لكان المعنى هو تأويل رؤيا. لكن أنبئكم بتأويله بمعنى بيوسف باستطاعته على تأويل الرؤيا. If he had said أنبئكم بتأويلها, it would have meant I will tell you the meaning of the dream because it's ruya. But أنبئكم بتأويله, I'm going to inform you of a man's expertise. He said, should I tell you بتأويله? And Allah hid a message there. He said, let me inform you of his interpretation of my own dream that he told me in the prison. أنبئكم بتأويله الذي أخبرني به لما كنت معه في السجن. Should I tell you about his interpretation of dream that he did for me while we were in jail? So that way you will believe me, فَأَرْسِلُونِ, then you will send me to him. Should I tell you of his capacity to interpret dream That's why it says bitawili, because he had interpreted a dream for him before. Should I show you his resume? Have I was saying to see the arsiluni, that you may send me to him? Have I gonna win?
يوسف أيها الصديق أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن
See, as well as already only by no eye. What do I like only by no eye? I don't want to get a must be there for a lie. My God. When Yusuf came, listen. When Yusuf came, what did he say? Yusuf.
أيها الصديق.
It's because our madrasa is not at the point where we just do tafsir only. You guys would have enjoyed the Quran so much. It says, you ever say Yusuf? Ayyuha Siddiq. Listen. It said Yusuf. Oh yeah, the truthful one. Why did he call him the truthful one after Yusuf? Because of the situation that sent him to the prison. Remember, it was between him and the king's wife. And they had trusted the wife over him. This time around you have to... The king had to redeem himself. So you have to call him by a name that shows that I know that I trusted you, but I mean, come on, man, I wouldn't have sent my wife to jail. Let me need Yusuf. You are Siddiq. Yusuf Amoloto Joni. As soon as he said that the wife was there, and what do you think she did? She buried her face in the... When you get my pẹ̀lú ìtọ́ ní sí kí la ti sọ kò tí ì tún àlá nílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìtọ́ mú ọ̀gọ́ Yusuf mo dẹ́dẹ́ lóòótọ́ ọ̀gọ́ wọ́n á kẹ́yìn sáwọn alájà. Afutina fi 7 baqarati simani yakuluhunna. Afutina bó ti ẹ̀wọ́ tèmi ní wọ́n àwọn eléyìí mú sáwọn ẹlẹ́wọ̀n kìí sáwọn tó kò sọ pé afutini ọmọ pé ńgbà tó ń bá wọn olóyè sọ̀rọ̀ kí ló wí ó ní waqala al-malahu afutuni fi ru'yaya. When he was talking to the chief, he said, tell me the meaning of my dream. But because this time around, because of what he did to Yusuf, this time around he had to hide under. He had to use the influence of others that were present. And he says, Afutuna, tell us, not for my own sake, but for the sake of these other people. When he was talking to the chief, he says, Aftuni fi ruyaya. Tell me the meaning of my dream. But when Yusuf came, not only did he try to redeem himself by calling him the honest one, he says, tell us the meaning of... It says, tell us the meaning. How come I had a dream? Or tell us the meaning of big cows, 7 big cows, eating the 7 skinny ones.
يأكلهن 7 إجاف
وسبع سنبلات في أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 إجاف وافتنا في 7 سنبلات خضر وأخرى يابسات. Tell us the meaning. How come I saw 7 fat cows consuming the 7 skinny ones, and I saw the 7 green, well-nurtured plants, and the 7 skinny ones. The 7 dry ones. And the matter of fact was the guy that was sent to him in jail that was saying this. Because he had come not with his own message, but the message of the entire country. He said, tell us, O yes, Siddiq, Aftina, tell us the meaning of 7 big cows consuming the 7 skinny ones, and the 7 green plants, and the 7 dry ones, so that I may go back to the people and tell them what you tell me.
قال تزرعون 7 سنين دأبا
فما حصدتم فاسعوا في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون. It says when you get a tell them that they're going to plant for 7 consecutive years, you plant the maize, the corns, and the rest of them. Whatever you plant though, when you harvest them, do not take the shell away from it. Keep them in the shell. Except the little that you want to consume. Oh, boy.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك 7 شداد يأكلن ما قدمتم لهن
إلا قليلا مما تحصنون. It says, do that for 7 years. Plant for 7 years. Whatever you must have planted, keep them in the barn. Keep them in their shells. Only consume of it what you want to eat. Do not eat too much for 7 years. Because another 7 years will come, there will be 7 years of what? Hardship. It was telling them about inflation. Whatever you're making for 7 years, only consume very little. Another 7 years will come, there will be inflation, there will be recession. Recession is not something that you should be scared of. It's been in every economy. 7 years of coolness, 7 years of dryness. 7 years of comforts, 7 years of discomforts. It says because another 7 years will come where there will be hardship. So at that time, you go back to what you saved and consume of it. That too will not last forever. It's only for 7 years. How is that about? Ọdún méje wọ́n náà wọ ọdún ló ti dé lu yìí ọdún méje máa yàtọ̀. Ọdún méje kan bẹ ọmọ fa owó gbé mo ti arrive. But there will be other 7 years where things are dry. But if you had read Surah to Yusuf, where it said you should labor for 7 years, save up. You're working from home, take 2 jobs. Moonlight, take 3, 4. Don't sleep. Hey, another 7 years is coming, there will be no job. Then you go back to what you saved up. You're buying money for 1 minute, white down. That's why I tell people, you get a new job, do not instantly increase your lifestyle. Accept that time of, just keep going that way. Don't promise them Nigeria what. Make sure you have that comfort for 7 years before you tell them that you want to change your family house. The day you tell them is the day you throw yourself in trouble. You tell your father, your mother, your auntie, your uncle, oh yeah, I'll send all of you to Mecca. And in Nigeria, you tell them you want to send them to Mecca, they will not sleep no more. Mecca is not until next year, but they will tell people today. How do you tell people that you're going to Hajj next year? When you're not even sure if you're going to live the next year. Because you promised them. Some of you become overzealous. Once you have this small change, that's when you stay extended time on the phone. Before you talk to them for that long on the phone. But now there is money. Okay. How much? Okay. I'll take care of it. You have to sustain that status for about 7 years. 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 days. Because there will be time of hardship.
ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك
من بعد ذلك ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعصرون. And there will come another year, not 7 months, just 1 year. After the 7 years of comfort. When you're planting, there'll be 7 years of discomfort. Then, after that 7 years of discomfort, there will come a year in which you will receive things in abundance. There'll be money. Odu Kana will take, it takes just 1 day to make you forget what you've gone through. With 1 day of change, you can forget. I was talking to one of my kids today at the Malik, and I was telling him about a guy. As a matter of fact, I told him to go and check that guy out on YouTube. Because the guy had an interview with Tesla, and now, said that guy started from his mother's room when he was about 9 years old. Maki or whatever is the guy's name. He does this gadget reviewing kind of thing on YouTube. I said, I can tell you for a fact that guy makes nothing less than $100,000 every month on YouTube. But he started yesterday. His friend never even knew that they used to live in the ghetto. Do you guys remember when you first came to America, you lived on 400 and guess not, in West Airports. Even now, when someone calls you and say, I live on Bisonet, wait, Bisonet. That's. You live there. Guess not. It's third world. Maybe you don't know. Maybe because it's closer to West Airports. Someone was telling me that when they used to live there, he wanted to buy a bike. And the friend told him, don't buy a bike or they will think you're selling drugs. Because what do you see at night in the evening? People, you know what I'm saying? See, you forgot that you used to live there. Now you live in a house where the smell of newness has never left the house since 10 years ago that you bought the house. But that one was built in 1975. Remember the first time you got in there, you bought that, the bed. You did not buy the bed. It was thrown out by someone. You picked it up on the trash can. You looked around for abandoned computers. Now you have 3 MacBooks. Allah has not taken you away from that comfort that you're enjoying now, only because it brings about one remembrance of this comfort that you were once on 400. You were once in Nigeria when there was no lights. So bá lóbi wá ní mọ̀ pé abúlé ẹ̀gbá ló ti wá ó gèrè àwọn ọmọ tó wọ́n bí sí kò ní gan àṣọ òkè báwọn yóò lè mọ̀ pé mọ̀ pé yìí ṣé ń gbà mo ní kò yìí ṣe mo ní pé kò yìí fi àìmọ̀ wí àbí kò lè rí ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀gbẹ́ tó wà ṣé street ẹ̀ jẹ́ kò yìí ṣé kò sí kò yìí ní Lábẹ́òkúta alábòsí. Now you go to Nigeria, you can't even stay in the darkness no more. You have to stay in the hotel. It's not your fault. But the same Allah that brings that comfort will bring about this comfort someday. Expect it. Enjoy it. Live with it. Stick through it. Get closer to Allah in it. It would go, it's never forever. If it's forever, Allah would have killed you. The only thing that is forever is Allah. Everything else is transient. There are times of turmoil. 7 years of discomfort, 7 years of comfort. Plan for the discomfort. You just have to sustain it for that period. And 1 year will come. It will be as if you had never, ever in your life known any discomfort. Tell them about it. I don't know how much money I have in me. You want to pay up where you know, I don't remember why I get up where I don't know about that. What's the other baby? The Mayati member Idalika Hamo, Fio Gazon Nasumafi. It says that 1 year will come when a Nesu. People would be swimming in abundance. Amun 2020. Everybody flooded into the markets, making money on Tesla. Great. Oh, Ismail, SMH, going to 394. Bye. Ìgbà yẹn ní bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ní mo tẹ̀sí bá aago méjì ní ti jí gbogbo àdúrà tí ìrántí máa ṣe pẹ̀lú comfort. Àbá ńgbà tí yọrọ di báyìí. Amen. في يغاث الناس وفي يغاث الناس وفي يعصرون. في يعصرون. There'll be an abundance. That year would come. It's no big deal. None of you told anyone how much you had in your account when you were living in affluence. I do not want to know how much you have in your account when you're broke. Keep your secret with Allah. Remember that your best friend has a best friend. So keep your secret. What's that? Keep your secret. The best friend should be Allah Azza wa Jalla. And after this, Allah brought about comfort for Yusuf. It was made what it was made. His father went through his discomfort of missing him for a very long period of time. He lost his vision, discomfort. Allah restored the comfort of Yusuf and therefore restored the comfort of his father. Discomfort drove them away from their home to come and buy food. They could almost tell that was their brother, but they were not sure. And while they're confused, they were accused of stealing. They went back home in sorrow, informed their father, who was already blind, that his beloved son had been held back again, and he had to go and beg for him. Discomfort. If you pitch your tent with Allah Azza wa Jalla and it shows you the manner of life, you're not going to be worried. I always tell people, what's the big deal? What's the worst that can happen? As a marketer, before I launch any campaign, I ask myself the question, what is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is, I know how much I'm investing, I know how much I'm going to lose. I can't lose more than what I invested. But I do not know how much I'm going to make. You can't measure comfort. You can measure discomfort. It can't get worse than this. Oh, but àmọ́ wọn gbọ́dọ̀ létí ó wá lọ́rọ́jọ́ ọlọ́run fún ká fọ́ta ọlọ́run yóò kéré láwọn òwèrè tó ń ká sínú àwọn àfáà òwèrè tó máa ń ṣe lọ́ńchìn onímọ̀ wò bá tí a máa tẹ́ lọ mo bá wọn sọ parí ìjà lẹ́nu wọn sọ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ tó wà QC ọlọ́run kò ṣe dáadáa fún wa. When the guy was sending you guys to America, that was 20 years ago. He didn't have no child. Now his children are in college abroad. He has to pay in dollars and pounds. And you want him to keep doing the same thing he was doing for you guys then? It's impossible. You didn't tell me when he was sending to America. He has responsibilities now. Expectations is the reason why people think other people are evil. Expect less of people. They're not your God. They're not your God. Don't throw parties because of people, so they can chip in. Did they do the budget at the beginning of the year and say, this guy will do party and I will chip in? And as soon as they don't do that, you think they're bad people? If you cannot finance your birthday, don't throw parties. When you invite us, we're going to come and eat. So people have their own problems. The fact that someone does not help you with his money is not your right, it's his money. It's not your money. Only me, Allah just bless me for. Amen. Àwọn tó pọ̀ wọ̀nyẹn wọ̀ parọ́, ó ti fa irun tí wọ́n mú inú, ó ti fa irun bẹ̀rẹ̀ rí. Oní ó jábọ́ lójú rẹ̀. Someone that you do not go to work with, do not blame them for not sharing their wealth with you. It is their prerogative. Enjoy your time of discomfort. Allah is coming. Do not make it other people's issue, other people's problem to solve your problem. It's Allah who can solve your problem. That is why a lot of families in Nigeria are not friends no more. That's why some families go separate ways because hey, my brother doesn't help me. My son doesn't. Is your brother God? Why do you depend on people? Depend on Allah. Alayhi tawakkaltu wa alayhi unib. Unto Allah you depend, and to Him you shall turn. I was telling these guys, I said the reason why we came to this country is because this country is not based on a brother having money and giving it all to his family. No. Go fend for yourself. It is, as a good Muslim, you have to be benevolent, right? But allow people to build themselves before you start asking them to take care of your responsibilities. You cannot be climbing the rock and have someone else on your back. You're both going to fall now. And it becomes, see, some of us, because we don't even understand that we live in America, we force ourselves to do it, and it becomes a thing of discomfort on you and your family. And you start complaining. People want to go. And to say no is actually better than saying yes. Because you can go back and say yes. But say yes to every damn thing. So when he was doing his party, I gave him this much. That's your problem. Did I beg you to give me? When you expect less from people, you have less enemies. Do you understand? Expectations is the reason why you do not like people. The father is driving a big car, he lives in a big house. That's his dream. Let him enjoy it. And I told the parents, your children that are graduating, going to college, do not tell them they have no family, family. I'm not going to okay. Oh, but I'm not going to grandma say bad day. In fact, one of Oko, young Joe. Do what you call Lojukan, Oko Marina. You're not going to allow these kids to take risk with their money so they can be successful. Everybody remains the same way. That's all this guy is done now for you. Be thankful, move on. Allah is the one who brings about comfort and discomfort. إذا ضاق بك الدنيا أما كسي على ملكة تيمبوا تفكر في ألم نشرع فأسر بين يسرين متى تذكر ما تفرع متى تذكر ما تفرع بكان اللي بكون تبالي nínú ilé Ọlọ́run ní kò rojọ́ fún Ọlọ́run lè yẹn máa rojọ́ fún lẹ́ni kan òfin lè rí mi fi èmi sáfà lẹ́ni kan rìn fi torí èyí ní gbé bùkátà ní wa bọ̀ àbáyé kódà tí n bá sa orúkọ Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kó wọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa ìyìn ní sílẹ̀kùn ní ìjọba lọ pé owó tí mo bèrè kọ́nù kí n máa lẹ́nu ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ Ọlọ́run lè yẹn máa rojọ́ fún
Ọlọ́run lè yẹn máa rojọ́ fún
Ọlọ́run lè yẹn máa rojọ́ fún àbẹ́ni tó bá trust pé ilé èèyàn lọ́run yóò bá mi rojọ́ mi fọ́lọ́run kò sí tó ború nù èèyàn àmọ́ bó ṣe wọlé everybody oh ṣe nígbà yẹn fẹ́ máa ṣe náà nù they want to see you and just be they want to feel sorry for you why you making yourself a victim their problems are bigger than your problem they just don't share it you're like ọmọ ṣe kí ló ṣe wọ́n wọ́n ló máa ná mi kí ló ṣe wọ́n tí ì gbọ́ torí kò o dúró síbi lọ́nà ọmọ fi ọ́ sí o lójú ara rẹ fọ́nà o rò fèèyàn ẹ padà jẹ́ ajọ́ kan yóò fi ọ́ sí ẹ̀yẹ yóò láì sóhun kò lè síwọ̀ tá lóhun èmi fi jókòó ara mi jẹ́ wàídì bá ń wì
àwọn bàbá fi jókòó ara wọn jẹ́ pé láì síwọ̀ kò sí èèyàn irọ́ ní
mo lówó èèyàn lè mà
olówó èèyàn ò lè mọ̀ o
bí ní èèyàn lè mà
bí a sì ní
ibi ká àwa ó sáré mi jí musa
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
ẹ̀wọ́ tẹ́lú bá débi tí mo fa ṣe wọlé owó ti pọ̀ yẹ́ ìwọ̀n yẹ́ nígbà tí lówó náà ètò lọ gbé àbáyọ̀ sí tòsí ó lè kẹ́mi má bí kankan
lè káwọn bá wọn bí kan
mo lè sọ fọ́nà tó mọ́ tú àsí mi fáyé
àmín
ó ṣàmì dáadáa kò ní tó àṣírí tiẹ̀ náà kò ní tó àṣírí tó ní kálukú wa náà Allah subhanallah wa bihamdihi subhanallah كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان خفيفتان فئات ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.